Some moments divide your life cleanly into before and after, not because something dramatic happened all at once, but because a truth finally became impossible to ignore. For me, that moment happened in a hospital corridor that smelled like antiseptic and stale coffee, while my 8-year-old son lay unconscious behind a closed door, his small chest rising and falling with mechanical precision. My name is Rebecca. I'm 32 years old. I'm a single mother. And I learned, too late, that in my family, love was conditional, generosity was selective, and children only mattered if they belonged to the right daughter. My son Tyler was born with a rare congenital heart condition. The doctors warned me early on that it could worsen with age. He'll be okay for now, they said, but you need to prepare yourself. There may be surgery someday. From that moment on, I lived with a quiet fear humming in my bones. Every cough made my heart jump. Every fever sent me spiraling. I learned to sleep lightly, listening for changes in his breathing. I memorized medication schedules. I learned medical terminology I never wanted to know. Tyler never complained. He was gentle, soft-spoken, the kind of kid who held doors open for strangers and apologized when other people bumped into him. He loved dinosaurs and space documentaries. He once asked me if hearts could get tired the way people do. I smiled and told him no. Inside, I was terrified. Tyler's father left when he was 2. He said he wasn't built for this kind of responsibility. I didn't beg him to stay. I didn't chase child support through endless court dates. I focused on survival, on keeping our little world stable. I worked 2 jobs. During the day, I was an office administrator at a dental clinic. At night, after Tyler fell asleep, I worked freelance graphic design. I taught myself everything, branding, layouts, marketing, through free tutorials and relentless trial and error. Some nights I worked until 2 a.m., then woke up at 6 to pack lunches and review spelling words. I didn't ask my parents for help. I already knew how that story ended. My younger sister Emma had always been the center of their universe. Growing up, it was subtle but constant. Emma needed more. Emma deserved more. Emma got more. When I needed help with college books, my parents said money was tight. When Emma wanted to attend a private university, they took out loans without hesitation. When I struggled as a young single mother, they told me hardship builds character. When Emma complained about stress, they rearranged their lives around her. So when Emma got engaged to a wealthy businessman, I knew exactly what was coming. Her wedding wasn't just extravagant, it was obscene, a destination venue, imported flowers flown in from Europe, a custom designer gown, fireworks, luxury hotels for guests. Every detail was flawless. My parents spent $230,000 without blinking. I attended quietly with Tyler. He wore a little suit and clapped when the fireworks lit up the sky. "Mom," he whispered, "this looks like a movie." I smiled. I didn't tell him that the flowers alone cost more than his future surgery would. I didn't tell him that this money could have changed everything. 3 weeks later, reality came crashing down. Tyler collapsed during recess. I still remember the school secretary's voice when she called me, calm, controlled, as if my world hadn't just cracked open. By the time I reached the hospital, doctors were already moving fast. Machines beeped. Nurses spoke in clipped tones. A cardiologist pulled me aside. "This can't wait anymore," he said gently. "Tyler needs surgery, soon." The number landed like a punch to the chest. $85,000. Insurance would cover part of it, not nearly enough. I stepped into the hallway, slid down the wall, and cried until my hands shook. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. Then I did something I had avoided my entire adult life. I called my parents. I explained everything. Tyler's condition, the urgency, the cost, my voice broke. I didn't ask for comfort, I asked for help. There was silence. Then my father spoke, cold and measured. "We can't afford to help right now, Rebecca." I actually laughed, a broken, disbelieving sound. I reminded them, quietly, about Emma's wedding. My mother cut in sharply. That was different. Emma deserved a perfect day. Perfect day. My son was lying in a hospital bed, and they were talking about a party. When I started crying, my father suggested charity programs, government assistance, as if Tyler were a stranger, as if he weren't their grandson. That night, I sat by Tyler's bed while he slept, his chest rising unevenly. I opened my phone to distract myself and saw Emma's post, a brand new luxury car. Caption, "Best wedding gift ever. Thank you, Mom and Dad." The car cost more than Tyler's surgery. Something inside me cracked. Over the next few weeks, the cruelty escalated. My parents hosted a family dinner celebrating Emma's honeymoon. Every relative was invited, except me and Tyler. I found out through social media while sitting beside hospital machines. When I confronted my mother, she said, "We assumed you'd be busy." Busy trying to keep my child alive. At the next family gathering I attended, my uncle asked about Tyler's surgery. Before I could answer, my father spoke. "Rebecca has always struggled financially. We can't enable poor planning." As if illness was a budgeting error. When another relative defended me, my mother dismissed it. She needs to learn independence. Then came the offer, a loan, 8% interest, collateral required, during a medical emergency. That's when I understood. It was never about money. It was about control. What they didn't know was that I wasn't as helpless as they believed. For years, I had been quietly building something, a freelance business, a reputation, clients who trusted me, savings they never knew existed. During one long hospital night, I stepped outside and made a call. My former mentor, Sarah. She listened, then she said something that changed everything. "You have more options than they want you to believe." We moved fast. Contracts, partnerships, investors. I worked while Tyler slept. I signed deals between medication schedules. While my parents told people I needed discipline, strangers showed me compassion. The final straw came when my mother suggested Tyler might be better off with a family who could afford him. I hung up. The next day, I invited my parents to the hospital. I showed them contracts, funding confirmations, signed agreements. "I don't need your money," I said calmly. "My son's surgery is paid for." Suddenly, they panicked. Suddenly, they cared. Too late. Tyler's surgery was successful. 3 months later, we moved. New city, new life. My business flourished. Tyler thrived. My parents still call. I keep boundaries. Because sometimes protecting your child means walking away from the people who never protected you. And I will never apologize for choosing my son's life over their approval.